Why do you look so tall?
I have a long torso.
What's up everyone, Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon Go video, and today I am actually joined by my wife, and she is someone who used to play Pokemon Go. I think you only played for about maybe a year and a half, right? Around what time did you quit? Like what actually came out? I think it was when legendary raids were first a thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know I was pretty religious playing it when it first came out.
Right.
And then
She played it more than me, actually.
when the legendary raids started happening, I just remember it was still like in the Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno era.
Okay.
And that was when I quit. I don't know when that was.
So before Mewtwo, before anything really.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to talk about some of the features that came out in Pokemon Go after she quit and try to see how she reacts to it. So I think this could be very interesting. So the first thing is Buddy Adventure. So Buddy Adventure is basically kind of like Tamagotchi meets Pokemon Go, where you would like pick one of your Pokemon and have it as your buddy. And basically it would walk around with you. I think you've seen it when I'm playing.
I remember you showing it to me.
Yeah, and basically you do all different kinds of activities every single day to collect hearts. And then I think maximum you can get about 34 hearts a day.
Okay.
That's if you do everything.
Okay.
And if you get 300 hearts, you get like a best buddy ranking with your Pokemon.
Okay.
And then you get like, I think like 2 additional levels with it. It's like slightly stronger.
So it increases its IVs?
Not IVs,
okay,
but like its actual level.
Oh,
like
I see.
If it's like 50, it'll be 52.
Okay, but what if the Pokemon's already at max level?
That's what I mean. Like max level would, let's say it's like, I think it's 52 is the max level. It would be like level 54.
Okay, but what if you're level 54?
No, but like the max level is, yeah. So just that Pokemon. It also has to be your buddy. But if it's like hits best buddy, that's like the ultimate goal, like the reason why you do it.
Okay.
Just makes it slightly stronger. Obviously that's cool for like raids and like PvP. We'll talk about PvP later, but like, yeah. What do you think of that?
Interesting concept. So basically you're taking like your strongest Pokemon that you're using to battle.
Sure.
And then you're using this buddy system and then making them stronger.
Yeah.
So that they're stronger in battle.
But it's a lot. Obviously, like 34 maximum hearts per day. That means 10 days straight you gotta grind it out. There's like different things. And you know, there's other benefits with your buddies. Like you get candy as you like travel certain kilometers and stuff. Yeah, but it's basically like a way to interact with your Pokemon. And the end goal, obviously, is you get those 2 additional levels, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a pretty interesting system, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah. Well, like, what would you, like, if you were to come back to Pokemon Go, let's say, like, would it be something you would engage in? Because typically with Pokemon Go players, some players tend to just ignore it. They just forget that it exists. And then there's other players who are like, that's what keeps them playing Pokemon Go. It's actually like one of the reasons why I keep playing Pokemon Go.
I see. I feel like I would do it, but I feel like I would only do it for like one Pokemon.
Oh.
Like my most favorite Pokemon, like that's the only one.
Interesting.
And then even after it hits like the best buddy, like best friend, whatever level it is, I feel like I would just keep that still as like my Pokemon that like follows
I see.
me.
So you can get like candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't think I would do it for like multiple Pokemon.
I think some players will say that's inefficient because once you max it out, it's like,
what's the point?
Yeah, you might as well start on another one. Yeah, I guess so. It's actually funny because for certain Pokemon like Eevee and I think Pikachu, when you reach a certain point, rather than walking next to you, it'll actually be on your shoulder.
Aw, yeah, see, it's cute.
Yeah.
So then it's fine.
Yeah.
So I would just do it for like the avatar.
Yeah, that makes sense. So another thing I wanted to talk about is the friends list. This is something that I'm pretty sure wasn't around when you stopped playing. 'Cause,
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But I know I've heard you talking about it because I know in your videos you talk about adding your Patreon supporters to your friends list, right?
Yeah. So there's like a maximum number of people you can add. They increase it over time. But with your friends, it's kind of like the buddy adventure system where the more you interact with your friends, you can actually increase your friendship level.
Okay.
And then there is like a best friends level.
Okay.
But the thing is, like with best friends, whenever you interact with them, you could actually trigger something called a lucky friend. I think it's like a very low chance, like let's say you open up a gift from them or you send a gift to them. Actually, I think it's when you open a gift from them, or like you raid together or even trade with them, you become like a lucky friend. And that means your next trade with that person is going to be a lucky trade. Now, lucky trades is basically when you trade a Pokemon, when it's a lucky trade, it has like a very high IV floor, which means the minimum IVs you can get is actually 12, 12, and 12. So your chances of getting you remember IVs, right?
I mean, yeah, but I didn't care about IVs when I played. It was just like, oh, this one's cool, like.
So just you remember that perfect IVs where like all the rage.
Yes, I know.
Like the whole reason you raid is to get perfect IVs.
Right.
So when you do a raid, the IV floor is 10 attack, 10 defense, and 10 stamina, which is the minimum IVs. The maximum for a perfect is 15, 15, 15. But with the lucky trade, the floor is actually 12, 12, and 12.
Okay.
Which means your chances of getting a perfect IV is actually much higher than it would be with a raid.
Okay.
So lucky trades are really good,
Okay.
basically speaking.
I see.
So
and
that
trades is just when you give one Pokemon to another person and they give you
Correct.
a Pokemon? Okay.
And it has to be someone in your friends list.
Okay.
So what do you think about that? Like the friends system?
I mean, I feel like I would probably play it.
Or like be active in it?
Yeah, be active in it.
You're doing better than me.
I'd probably be active in it with like actual like friends though.
Friends?
Yeah.
I see.
Like not like
Random people.
Yeah. Like I would probably do it like for like if we were playing together, like I feel like I would do like a trade with you like all the time.
Yeah, of course, because we want to hit lucky friends all the time because we
Right.
obviously live together. We could do it whenever we want.
Exactly. So it would just be like convenient. And then in the same way, like with my actual friends, I'd be like, hey, like it's time for a trade. Like let's do it.
Sure.
If they were into Pokemon Go.
Right.
But yeah, I think I would probably do it.
Oh, okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is PvP. Now, around the time that you played, the only PvP system we had was obviously gym battles.
Yeah.
But it was more of like an automated system. Like you put in a Pokemon and like you have a Pokemon defending a gym and then someone comes and attacks it. There's no like actual like interaction.
Right.
But they actually implemented a system where you could have a 3 versus 3 battle versus another player in real time.
3 versus 3?
Yeah, so you pick 3 Pokemon, they pick 3 Pokemon.
I thought it was like 3 people versus
Oh no,
3 people.
that'd be insane.
I was like, that's crazy, but
Yeah.
okay. So I see 3 Pokemon versus 3 Pokemon.
Right. And it's interesting because they have 3 different leagues.
Okay.
And like there's the Great League, the Ultra League, and the Master League. So the Master League is a league where you could use whatever Pokemon you want. There's no limit,
okay.
legendaries, maximum level. But with the Ultra League, the CP limit is 2,500. So you can't use any Pokemon over 2,500. And then
like
with
HP?
the Great... Or CP. Remember like CP is the number at the top? Yeah, but anyway, basically you can't just use whatever Pokemon. There's restrictions.
What's the difference between CP and HP?
HP is their health.
Okay.
And CP is like their combat points value.
Combat.
Yeah. So it's like...
Okay, got you.
Yeah, you remember the number at the top.
Yeah. I'm thinking about... Yeah, okay, I know what you're talking about now.
So there's a limit. And basically that's what makes it, I guess, fun. Because you just can't simply use the most powerful Pokemon and just jump in there.
Okay.
You have to like actually like plan out a team. Like obviously like legendaries at 1500 CP is actually going to be very weak.
Yeah.
Because they're an extremely low level.
Right.
Whereas let's say a Pokemon like, I don't know, like
Rat-a-tat.
Raichu, or not Rattata per se, but like let's say like Raichu or
Okay.
something or like Wobbuffet or something like that.
Oh, okay,
When
I
you
see.
max it out to the maximum level, it'll be the max level, but it'll be still under 1500.
Okay, I see.
So it adds a little bit of, there's like a lot of dynamic strategy with it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of that? Would that be something you would engage in?
So you said there's 3 different leagues.
Yeah,
What
and
about
it alternates. So like for 1 week it'll be the Great League, the next week it'll be the Ultra League. So it's not like you can just,
Oh, interesting. So only for the Master League,
it's like use whatever you
use
want.
whatever you want. But what about, was it the Great League?
The Great League is up to 1500,
Okay,
and then the Ultra League is up to 2500.
I see. For CP.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's either under 1500, at 1500, or under 2500, I guess. So it's like,
Well, it's 1500 or below,
right.
and then 2500 or below.
Yeah.
And the Master League is use whatever you want. I know it's confusing, but basically it's player versus player.
Yeah.
And they just have these restrictions.
Yeah, okay. I feel like PvP is probably the one thing that I would have been really diligent in. Just because like it reminds me of like back in like my Hearthstone days.
Oh yeah, she
Where,
used to play a
like-
lot of Hearthstone.
Where like you're playing against like actual people,
Right.
right? And there's, I think, more satisfaction for me when I'm beating like a real life person versus like a bot in a game.
I see. You
So-
do have like a big competitive edge.
Yes. So I feel like I would 100% like be PvP. Is there like rankings in PvP?
Yes.
Like, so like diamond, whatever. Like I don't know. What
Not
the rankings
necessarily like
are.
that, but it's like there's like master rank, ace rank, and then it's like a numbering ranking system.
I see. What's the highest?
Master rank.
Yeah. So then I would try to become master rank.
Yeah.
That's probably what
And you
I
get
would
like
do.
exclusive Pokemon.
Yeah.
And what stuff like that.
Yeah, 100% I would have done PvP.
Oh wow. Yeah, I have to ask this. If PvP was around at the time that you quit, would you have quit? Or do you feel like that would have kept you in?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because I think one of the things that kind of drew you away from Pokemon Go, I feel like was like the sandbox aspect of it.
Yeah, it was not just the sandbox aspect. It was more just the fact that like the game was all about collecting Pokemon.
Right.
Right? And so like the reason why I quit was because I think it was like the last day to raid for Zapdos.
Right.
And I just couldn't catch it. And so I was like, well, like at the time, I was like, well, if I can't have Zapdos, that means I can't have all the Pokemon.
Right.
So what's the point? And so
Yeah.
I quit.
Obviously nowadays it's very different,
it's
but at the
different.
time it was like,
you miss it
Yeah.
type of thing. So I think if PvP was introduced and I had also known at the time that like this wasn't the only time you can get Zapdos, like
Right.
it will come back, I might have stayed.
what I will say is that I think it took like a year and a half
Yeah,
for
see,
Zapdos
that's too
to
long.
return.
It's too long.
Because they kept introducing new
right.
legendaries.
And I just like that's too long. Like
Yeah.
I can't do that. So for me, like then it would just be like
You have a hole in your
like,
Pokedex
right,
and it'll be
it would have
bothering
killed
you.
me. It would have
Yeah.
killed me. So I couldn't.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I knew how you were. You were like very much like a type A perfectionist.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
like
if
needed
it's
to
not-
get everything.
If it's not perfect, then I don't want to play it
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, you would hate Pokemon Go now. The way Pokemon Go works right now, just to go on a tangent, is that they rotate the Pokemon you could potentially get
Yeah.
per season.
Okay.
So right now we're in the summer season. There's only certain Pokemon that are going to show up, and every other Pokemon, you have to wait till they get rotated in. So you'll never, if you like were to start today, you could never actually complete your Pokedex. You would have to wait for like the next round of Pokemon to come in. It's like, it's kind of annoying, and I know a lot of newer players like are frustrated by that, but they can't really do anything because there's over 700 Pokemon in the game now.
Yeah.
So
I
it's like they
mean,
can't just have 700 Pokemon walking around.
Just
they have
all
to
over
like
the place,
it
yeah.
makes sense from a design point of view, but ultimately for your playstyle, I feel like you would hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have been okay with it just because it is like like it's not like a year and a half wait for like
Yeah.
those Pokemon to be released. It's like a couple months.
Mm.
So I think I might have been okay with it, but yeah, not ideal. I agree.
All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is actually something that came pretty recently.
Okay.
It's called Dynamax Battles.
Oh, okay. I think I've seen your Instagram posts.
And you've
On it.
heard me talk and rant
Yeah.
about it also.
Yeah.
So Dynamax Pokemon are basically a new kind of Pokemon that
Right.
you can
It's
get.
that giant Pikachu, right?
Yeah. P. So there's like Dynamax Pokemon as well as Gigantamax Pokemon.
Oh,
But-
there's different ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dynamax Battles is like a new battling system, but it's
Okay.
like its own thing in a vacuum. It's almost
Okay.
like a mini game or like a side quest in Pokemon Go. So all of the Pokemon,
Okay. Uh-huh.
all the Pokemon you've caught up until the release of Dynamax Battles, they can't be used for Dynamax Battles. Only the Pokemon you can get from Dynamax Battles can be used for Dynamax Battles. Does that make sense? So let's say like,
Sure.
so it's like it's separate progression. It's like a
Okay.
completely separate game.
Okay.
I think one of the things that players were frustrated about in the beginning was that, hey, there's this new battling system and it has its own rewards. It has special Pokemon you can only get from Dynamax Battles, but I can't use the Pokemon I've collected up until this point. I have to basically start fresh. But when you get into it, it actually can be a lot of fun because it is like a separate mini game essentially.
Okay.
Like, what do you think about that? Do you think that was a good idea for them to do? Because I think one of the things that even I said was that there wasn't really like a crossover between like Dynamax and raids, for example. Like anything you get from Dynamax Pokemon, sure, you could use it in raids, but like you can't use Gigantamax Pokemon, which are like the more special version of a Dynamax Pokemon, you know? And it's like, you know, because of that, it's like you're either really into it or you're not. I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it because you just said a lot of words
Sorry.
at me.
Anyone who watches my YouTube channel knows that's my style. I just word vomit.
Yeah,
but
well, I'm married to you. So
yeah,
I
so
know
you definitely
that.
know.
So I mean, I'm not against it. I think the idea of having like a mini game within a game is fine, but I do think as someone, like if I were to start playing again or someone new comes in to play again, or for the first time,
Yeah.
I think it would be confusing.
Like, what is this other thing?
And like there's like all these like specific rules like tied to it that you were saying.
Yeah.
And like I think it could be confusing, but I don't know. I think it makes sense to me that there are people who are like really into it because I'm sure like the benefits that you gain from it
Yeah.
are good.
You get candies and
Yeah.
there's specific Pokemon you can only get from it.
Yeah, and like from like a collector's point, then I think, you know, people would probably be interested in doing the Dynamax?
Dynamax Battles,
The
yeah.
Dynamax Battles, just for that reason alone. But I don't know, from the way that you're explaining it, it sounds like there's like a bit of a learning curve
There is.
with it.
But
so
once you get into it, it's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get myself more into it. I feel like it's content that I've been kind of ignoring. But every time I do engage with it, it's actually pretty fun because it's a wholly different thing.
Yeah.
It's more turn-based. It's actually pretty fun.
okay.
Yeah. All right, one last thing, and this is actually something that is about to come out. It's actually not in the game yet, but I'm pretty sure you know what I'm going to talk about.
The bottle cap.
Bottle caps, yeah, because you hear me talking about it all the time. So
I just hear the echoing of the word bottle cap when you're recording.
Oh yeah. So bottle caps is basically going to be this new item that when you use it on a Pokemon, you could actually increase the IVs. So up until now, you couldn't increase the IVs like intentionally. You could only get better IVs from just doing more raids, trading your Pokemon, stuff
I
like
see.
that. But this is like the first time you're going to be able to actually manipulate your Pokemon as they are and make them stronger. I think it's kind of a mixed reaction among players. I think some players are kind of frustrated by it because they've collected so many like perfect IV Pokemon over the years. Like they've done hundreds of Mewtwo raids to get a perfect IV Mewtwo. And it's like, now anyone can get it, you know? So it's like, I can understand that point of view, but for other people, especially for people who want to like PvP, like obviously if they're trying to get into the Master League where anything goes, if they don't have the strongest Pokemon, they can't compete.
Right.
So now this allows them, it kind of balances the playing field.
Right.
But considering you quit around the time like rating first came out, obviously like around that time, I remember like we just started to care about IVs because we discovered what is this appraisal button. And then I like did the research, obviously, because I was making YouTube content around it. And then we both were like, oh, we got to find like a perfect IV now. It's not enough to just get a
I didn't even care about it that much.
Yeah, you didn't.
Well, because PvP wasn't a thing, so it's like, what is this for?
Yeah,
like,
that's true. Because you kind of figured it out before anyone else, at least among people I knew, that IVs don't really matter. Like in raid battles, it's like you just need 20 people. You don't, IVs won't make the difference. And it is somewhat true nowadays, but I think a lot more players care about it just for the collecting aspect of it. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, what are your thoughts on bottle caps?
So I mean, I remember when I was first catching Pokemon and like seeing the IVs and like realizing that you can level up your Pokemon, but your IV determined like basically how high its like CP and HP was going to be. And I think I remember saying this, it's kind of like solo leveling where you're going from like the world where you can't, like, this is what you're born with, like that's your IV, and then Songjinu like is the person with like the bottle cap, right? And you can now like level up with it.
Yeah, that is a good analogy,
So, I mean, I can totally understand the frustration of the people who went out there and grinded to get the like perfect level IV Pokemon. So I think that is very valid. But I don't like, so is there like a limit to bottle caps? Is there like a price to it? Like what is the limitations around it? Because I feel like that is going to be like the really big determining factor on if this is just going to like screw over all of those people, or if it's like a good thing for the people who maybe are just first starting off or like coming back like me or something.
Sure. So that is actually a good thing to bring up. Right now, it is something you can get through something called the Go Pass.
Okay.
Which, the deluxe version of it, which would cost you $20. So it is like $20 per bottle cap, essentially.
And a bottle cap per Pokemon?
Yeah.
And
so $20 to change one Pokemon's IVs.
Okay. And you can continue leveling up that Pokemon. It's not like you need to continuously buy bottle caps for that Pokemon.
No. It's like you use one bottle cap, you could increase it as much as you want. At least that's how the system is set up right now. So literally like Songjinu, like you could just it's like you're paying $20 to turn one of your Pokemon into Songjinu. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think overall it's a good thing. Only because I think that it does level the playing field for people who want to get into Pokemon Go but feel like there's such like a high barrier. I think it makes it a little easier for them to like catch up.
Right. Rather than spending thousands of dollars.
Right. And like rating is like hard because if you live in a certain area where there's not a ton of raids happening, like how do you, like there's just no way that you can do that, right? Versus like if you just catch one of the Pokemon that you want from somewhere and then you use a bottle cap, then you can just bring it up to the IV level that you want it to be. So I feel like it kind of like levels the playing field for people who maybe live out in more like rural areas that aren't near, you know, places where they can raid a lot more. So I think overall it's a good thing. I think it is good that there's kind of like a limit on it. Like you can't just buy like a billion bottle caps. It's like $20, but it's like once per Go Pass, which the Go Pass only lasts for like a month or a week. So it's like, it's not like you could buy 10 Go Passes and 10 bottle caps. It's like you can only buy one at a time. And then, so it's like, essentially a lot of players will say, oh, this is pay to win. You're spending $20 to make your Pokemon the strongest it can be. But the pushback to that, I feel, is the fact that it's limited. Yes.
You can't just buy 10 bottle caps.
Right, exactly. And I think that's probably gonna be why I think it's overall a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's good points. All right, well, that's pretty much it. I feel like there's nothing else that really came out that's substantial. There's stuff like Team Go Rocket Battles and Shadow Pokemon, but that's all really just, I don't know. It's like, I don't think it's worth discussing. There's other things too that I could have brought up, but I think these are like kind of like the big things.
The main points.
That like came out since you quit, which was like so long ago.
A billion years ago.
I mean, there's like hundreds of Pokemon. I think like at the time that you quit, it wasn't even all 150 that came out.
No, I think, oh, maybe not. Yeah, you're right. Because I think
there was like a few
Mew
that...
and Mewtwo and all
I don't think Ditto came out yet.
No, Ditto came out, I remember.
Oh, okay.
Because I remember my phase of catching every single Rattata and every single Pidgey in hopes that it was that one Ditto.
Oh, geez. There's actually one big thing that came out before you quit.
Okay.
Shiny Pokemon.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I feel like... I mean, you don't really have to give too many thoughts on it, but just based on how I know you and how I know your playstyle when it comes to like games like Pokemon Go, I feel like Shinies would have made you so incredibly angry and frustrated.
I mean, probably.
Because I feel like she's the kind of player where if they introduce a new Shiny, she will bend over backwards to get at least one of them. You know, like someone like me is like, I'll eventually get it, or it'll eventually get a
You always, always talk about wanting a Shundo too. So.
Yeah, and with Shundos too, like you'd probably do way more raids than you need to because it's like, it's 100%, but it's not a Shundo, and you just need to like go that extra mile.
Yeah.
Seriously, if we were still playing Pokemon Go, like she would be the one that would need to have the YouTube channel because she would play a lot more hardcore than I did. I would, but
don't out me, man.
It's like with any game we play, but yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay,
to a degree. Some games I hyperfixate and just go all out, but ultimately I feel like with Shinies coming out almost immediately after you quit, I feel like it would have changed the way you would have viewed Pokemon Go.
Yeah, probably. I don't know if it would have been for the better, to be honest. I think I remember you telling me when Shinies came out, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of glad that I'm kind of glad that I quit.
It's not enough to just get a Pokemon. Now you have to find their shiny form as well.
I'm just like, that sounds very stressful, and I'm like, and there's like I'm okay.
There's like a separate Pokedex too for like getting Shinies.
Yeah. See, I would have. And it's like, if I accidentally, like, it would have had to been like all or nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I would have tried to probably ignore the Shinies, but as soon as I accidentally caught like one Shiny and it opens up that Pokedex, I'm like, now I have to like get all the Shinies.
Yeah, that's so true. Well, anyway, yeah, that's gonna be it. This was fun. We'll definitely do this again. But yeah, that's. Do you have any closing thoughts regarding Pokemon Go?
What is your catchphrase? Love yourself.
Oh, be safe. Have fun.
Love yourself. And I'll catch you all later.
Bye, everyone.
Jinsula와 함께해.